All right, so we're moving on to the next activity, 2-2 story time. The instructions say, here are 3 situations, 1, 2, 3, and 6 equations. Which equation best represents each situation? If you get stuck, draw a diagram. Okay, so let's start with number 1. After Elena ran 5 miles on Friday, she had run a total of 20 miles for the week. She ran X miles before Friday. So she ran 5 miles on Friday. Before Friday, she ran X number of miles. We don't know what number that is. So we're using the X to represent it. But the total is 20 miles. So the sum of the 5 miles she ran on Friday plus the X number of miles she ran before Friday is a total of 20 miles. So I think my equation is going to look something like that. 5 plus X equals 20. So this looks like my winner here. And I wrote 5 plus X. This equation says X plus 5. Does it matter? No. Addition is commutative. It doesn't matter what order I add numbers in. They'll have the same value. All right, so let's move on. Question 2. Andre's school has 20 clubs, which is 5 times as many as his cousin's school. His cousin's school has X number of clubs. So his cousin's school has X number of clubs. Andre's school has 5 times that amount. So Andre's school has, this is a little dried out, has 5 times the number of clubs that his cousin has. And we're told that that number is 20. So my equation should look like this. 5 times X equals 20. If I come down here, it's not X plus 20 equals 5. Not X is equal here. Not this one. This is a multiplication, but it's not. This is not the same as what I came up with. And this looks like my solution here. Now, I drew this multiplication dot in between the 5 and X to make it 5 times X. In math, when we're multiplying a number times a variable, we can actually leave that multiplication dot out. Anytime we see a number right next to a variable with nothing in between them, it's understood, it's implied that there's multiplication. So even though there's no dot here, this means 5 times X equals 20. So that one goes there. Okay, last one, number 3. Data volunteers at the animal shelter. It'd be a good thing to be doing right now. I'm sure they need people. I know a lot of the animal shelters really put a push on to get their animals at least into foster homes. So number 3, Data volunteers at the animal shelter. She divided 5 cups of cat food equally to feed 20 cats. Each cat received X cups of food. So she's got 5 cups of cat food. She needs to split it equally by 20. So I think this is going to look like 5 divided by 20, that each cat receives X cups of food. So I believe it's going to look like that. Do we see that? I don't see one that looks like that. So it's possible that it's written a different way. So this one, it might be helpful to actually draw a tape diagram. Let's see, she has 5 cups of cat food and it has to be split equally to feed 20 cats. Let's see. This is going to be a little crazy. This represents 5 cups of cat food. And if I can't really split this into 20 parts. Let's see, each of these would have to be split into 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each of these is X. That's how much each cat gets. So, is there a way I could draw an equation represented by this tape diagram that matches one of these? Well, it's certainly not x plus 20 equals 5. That would just be a combination of two values. And same with this one, x equals 20 plus 5. So here's another possibility. 20 times x equals 5. Well, would that be 20 groups of x equals 5? That looks pretty much what I've got here. For each of these is x, and I've got 20 of them, and 20 groups of x equals 5. So I think this is my solution, even though it's written slightly differently. All right.